Can't we all just get along? Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Count coming at you. Before I get into this video, please remember to like the video and subscribe, like the video and subscribe, like the video and subscribe. So it's been a very busy day for Mr. Samantha Irvin, aka the Bald One, aka Ricochet. If you saw this week's episode of Collision, which took place on Thursday instead of Saturday, I guarantee you that the ratings for that show is going to be abysmal because they usually do very poorly when they move off of their normal dates, right? But if you saw it, you saw him interact with Zach Gowen. Yes, that Zach Gowen who had that very memorable feud with Brock Lesnar. You saw Ricochet leave off with his leg, which is going to set up a match on Dynamite this week between him and Zach Gowen, which is who would have sat there and called that, right? Very random. But earlier this week, we saw Rhino on Dynamite. We see Zach Gowen on Collision. It's like Tony Khan just randomly loaded up Peacock and started watching episodes of SmackDown from the mid-2000s. But this is not what people are going to be talking about when it comes to what went down with Ricochet today. If you do not know, and if you are not on the X app, aka Twitter, owned by Overlord Elon Musk, you saw Je'Von Evans and Ricochet really get spicy, right? And this all started innocently where a guy just tweeted out saying, Je'Von Evans is the best young prospect in the business today. Don't be bringing up some no names off of the indies. And you see Ricochet retweet it saying, I'd squash him. And that's just innocent. Ricochet is a guy who, just by watching his character on television, he is a guy who likes to troll on screen, and he's a guy who's very chronically online. If you load up his Twitter feed, you see him retweeting a lot of different things, replying to a lot of different people. He is somebody who is very much a person who has his ears to the ground and is very active online, right? So we see that get to Je'Von Evans, and you see these guys go back and forth. Je'Von Evans really tries to start off flexing, saying, I've just been training with Shawn Michaels at the PC, something that a little bit of a humble brag, right? And a little bit of backstory, guys. Je'Von Evans is a friend of one of my friends. Never met the guy personally, but I've just heard nothing but good things about him as an individual, right? But he's a young dude, right? I think that he's a 2000s baby. So Je'Von is a very, very young individual, right? And you see these guys going back and forth. You see Ricochet say something like, you're over there training with Shawn Michaels at the PC. I was doing that when you were 12. And I've been a champion in multiple different places since then. And this is where these things turn to a very, very messy and spicy angle between these two guys, right? You see Je'Von Evans saying, oh, you were doing that when I was 12. Now, being a champion multiple times over, now you're wrestling in front of 2,000 people every week for a crackhead. Yes, he called Tony Khan a crackhead. Now, I see a lot of people wanting to say, well, look at him burning a bridge, right? There's no such thing as burning a bridge in professional wrestling in my mind. You've seen CM Punk go scorched earth against WWE every opportunity that he possibly could. And now look at him. He just came off of main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania. He had the Ultimate Warrior stick up Vince McMahon, and they brought him back. Now, it was just for a Hall of Fame induction, but he was brought back, right? The only person who never really got the opportunity to be brought back was the Macho Man, RIP, God rest his soul. Now, Tony Khan's a different individual. He is not Vince McMahon. He's not Triple H. We see all these different examples of those guys being able to put business over personal. So I don't know if Tony Khan follows the exact same thought process when it comes to that. But I do not think that we are in a position, with AEW where if Je'Von Evans was a free agent, Tony Khan wouldn't put a bid in, right? I don't see that happening. But it's just so funny how in wrestling, in no other business or no other job could I really think about it's always, kind of us versus them. Now, wrestling's a very macho, a lot of testosterone driven, environments when it comes to that business. But imagine working at Burger King and like having this thing where you're feeling like, man, it's us against McDonald's. The Whopper kicks the Big Mac's ass, right? It's very much so like that with professional wrestling, especially when it comes to the different fandoms. But even with some of the wrestlers, there's others who do interviews where it's like, it's not like that. I like WWE. I got friends there, and vice versa. People in WWE, praise individuals in AEW. But you always get interactions like this, which really feels as if it's kind of like it's really hard to describe, where it's just like this allegiance to the company and everything else is falling back. It's crazy how like Ricochet, right? He was somebody who WWE fans were really defending, even when he wasn't doing anything on television. But as soon as he signed with AEW, the guy is scum of the earth, right? Because he left the company. It's just a weird thought process and weird interactions from people that feel as if they don't touch grass very often. But this is just one of those things that happens every once in a while. Ricochet is a master rage baiter, and that's not going to sound right. But he's very good at getting a reaction out of people, and we've got the old faithful tweet and delete from Je'Von, but everything lives on the internet forever, as we all know that. But let me know what you guys think about this, right? Do you think this is harmless, back and forth between two guys? Do you think that this is unnecessary? Do you think Je'Von really burned a bridge with the potential of going to AEW, or limiting his options if something doesn't work out with the WWE? Let me know in the comment section. And guys, please remember to like the video and subscribe, like the video and subscribe, like the video and subscribe. I am Kevin Zwicker. I'm out.